Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are once again live down here in the Bear Cave Studios for another episode of the Sports Frenzy Podcast, Sold Out. With me, your host, Freddy El Oso, with my co-host, Devil's Advocate.
So a couple of birthdays I want to mention today. In 1943, the great Harley Race was born. In 1969, today, Dustin Rhodes. 1972, we have Balls Mahoney. And I know today we got a statement from WWE about Akabono, his passing. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned him as well.
And with our other co-host, the encyclopedia himself, Blackbeard.
And gentlemen, tonight is the end of an era, and next week starts a new era. Bye, Freddie. See you later, buddy.
This is the last show for El Oso. Bittersweet, but I leave it in good hands.
Anthony, let's get him. You got your chair?
Is it
let him go.
AI? Is it really me?
Just
Roll the videotape. Let's see. Let's see what it is.
Just go do your OTBS. I know you've been advertising them left and right on Instagram. You've already forgotten about us, so go fuck yourself, pal. Get out of here.
Oof. All right.
That was the promo. That was a sliver of the promo I was going to cut on him until he blew it to last week when he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm leaving," and I was like, and I'm like looking at, I'm like, son of a bitch, what are you doing?
I was going to say Tony Khan has entered the chat.
You know,
Son, he is back stateside.
We think.
So we think we'll see. We'll see if he jumps.
he's finishing his rosary now. So as soon as he's done.
Yeah, he's redepositing to the building fund. So he's getting all the money back in there. But WrestleMania weekend, fellas. WrestleMania 40 not 40. 40. WrestleMania 40.
I should have done it that way.
The biggest WrestleMania in WWE history. What did you guys think?
Well, before he gets on, and then you guys jump right in with your thoughts, I do want to note that on our picks, the guy that's been in Japan for the last month and hasn't gotten to watch anything went undefeated the entire freaking
That's
weekend.
bullshit.
What the hell?
He had an inside man. That's what
Hey
it
Freddie,
was.
maybe it's a good time for you to leave. I mean, 4-3 the first night. I mean, shit.
Yeah, 4-3. I didn't go so well the first night. I got the second night pretty good. The
He got the battle, yeah, and he got the battle royal, so you got the overall points win, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Well, you know, some of us made sure that we picked people who are actually in the match. So
yeah, well, I didn't.
I
How the
think-
hell? How the fuck was I supposed to know Shinsuke Nakamura wasn't going to be in the battle
I
royal?
would have guessed too. But you know what? Right before I made the pick, I looked at the list to make sure who was in it. That's why I got Otis.
We looked at the
we
list.
looked at the
night
list. That was
before,
why I
and he
got
was
so
on it.
pissed
Yeah.
off. I'm like watching live, and I'm like, where the hell is Shinsuke? And then I texted you guys, I already got eliminated. He's not even in the damn match. Fuck. And I actually half thought, as Bronson Reed was coming out, I was like, I should probably switch my pick. Nah, you know what? I'm going to own it. And then when he wasn't in there, and I was like, oh, shit.
Son of a bitch.
Good thing I was home alone. I was like cursing up a storm.
Nakamura's dropped pretty far, huh? A couple months
Oh my
ago, he was
God.
feuding with Cody,
Yeah.
and now he's not even in the WrestleMania Battle Royal.
And then he does a job.
Yeah, and then he jobs this week on Raw. Maybe his contract's up.
It could be.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. I don't know what happened with him. He was flying high. They were really trying to push the Japanese wrestlers, you know, like I don't get what happened there with him.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
so I mean, yeah, I don't know. But what did you guys think of the weekend? El Oso, we'll give you the honor since this is your last week. Then maybe you could get the fuck out of here earlier. No, I'm kidding.
Just sign off right after.
I think
No, actually,
WrestleMania
you're what.
sucks, and so do you guys. Bye.
In all transparency. Oh, sorry. What did you say, Rob?
I said, I think WrestleMania sucks, and so do you guys. Bye.
Click.
No, in
Also
all
has left the
seriousness.
chat.
In all seriousness, you're not losing us that easily. We still want you back whenever you can make it.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely come.
I don't
I'll
agree with
definitely
that.
come back around.
You're dead. You're dead to me.
That's it, right? I enjoyed the show. I thought both nights were very well done. It was good to see Bayley finally get her WrestleMania moment. Good to see Priest win the match and take home the gold. PR flag hanging up in the background, so that was a cool moment. First Puerto Rican world champion since Pedro Morales 50 years ago. So very cool moment there. I thought the main event delivered. Cody finally finishing his story. Night one with The Rock. That was awesome. I just thought it was two great shows back to back. The storytelling, the long-term storytelling with Rollins saying he was going to be Cody's Shield and coming out to the Shield music and putting a bow on that little piece. That was very, very well done. Kudos to Triple H on that. I love the ending with Cody coming out, bringing all the guys, calling out Triple H, ushering in the new era. I thought I would definitely go back and watch this show. I feel like it was pretty well done. There's been a lot of pay-per-views recently where I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to watch it again. This one I'd go back and watch.
Okay. I disagree only to a point. I don't think I'd watch both shows complete. I think I'd skip to certain matches.
Okay. That's fair.
I was not really impressed with the 6-woman tag team match. I kind of half watched it. You kind of knew the outcome, so I wasn't nearly as interested. Jimmy and Jay totally flat, lost the crowd. Nothing going on there. I think they totally. I mean, it's not a big deal. The shows were successful, but for a match that they hyped for a while and they tried to build a storyline around, it just never connected with the crowd. Never connected. I mean, somebody I saw wrote the Young Bucks would be jealous at the amount of super kicks were thrown in that match, and I agreed. It would seem like they were just kicking each other, and same thing with Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. I didn't really care for that match either. I watched a little bit, but I kind of moved on. But then you get into like Gunther and Sami Zayn, and you're like, wow, okay, good match. Half of us thought Sami was going to win, half of us thought Gunther was going to retain. So we were all on the fence. And, for a while there, it looked like Sami wasn't going to make it, and then he pulled it out at the end. And I think I'm interested to see what they're going to take Gunther now. I think he's definitely a world title contender now. I think they've got to start pushing that. I'm wondering if they'll do a Gunther Priest. I mean, they've been kind of teasing that, right? A couple months ago, they kind of teased that. So I'm wondering if that's the direction they're going to go. I wonder if he's going to challenge Sami again. The Undisputed match, that was the tag team was interesting because I noticed Freddie only picked DIY, and I know they changed. I don't know when they changed the stipulation. I didn't realize it till the last minute when I was making my picks and I wanted to check out the teams. I realized they had changed the stipulation where there's going to be 2 winners.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
So
I freaking texted you that they changed it.
Yeah, well, I was on cloud 9 that night, so I really wasn't paying attention.
I was on cloud 9 that night.
No, I had some brownies, so it was a night.
I thought he was about to say me and my wife were having a special evening, and I was like, and he saw that and was like, "Fuck this, I'm going to keep going."
Nope, it was brownies. Got the best of me on that one.
So, I mean, it was nice for Awesome Truth to win. I mean, R-Truth has been doing like killer work, so it's nice to show that he's been rewarded. I mean, in the past, Vince McMahon would have ignored that, right, and had them lose first.
Yeah.
Because R-Truth's momentum wasn't, built by Vince, so you know how that goes. So it's nice to see you're rewarded for the work, even if they have a short reign. Doesn't matter, right? R-Truth is what, in his 50s.
Yeah.
And, thought maybe his career was over, and now he's got this resurgence. And I love this week when he shows up on Raw, and they're all holding up their belts,
And he
and he
threw his
shows up
belt in
behind
there.
them, and they're like, "We're not doing this again." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Not doing what? Not doing what?" That was great. Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. I honestly thought they were going to go with Becky. I really did. When Rhea brought up her kid, I thought that was going to be the turning point. And with her book coming out, I really thought they were going to switch the title. And I'm glad they didn't, because I love Rhea Ripley. I think she's doing an amazing job, and I don't see anybody at this point who can take the belt off of her. So they're going to have to build up a challenger for her, because she's looking like the most invincible. And then you get into your tag team match. And it was good. It was a tag team match. We all knew that Cody was going to lose. So it was just a matter of how. And it was a good match. I enjoyed it. Moving on to night 2, the street fight. I could care less. Just kind of passed right over that. Goddamn Logan Paul. I mean, good match. I like when Randy and Kevin were teaming up, and then after a while, Randy was like, "I the hell with this."
I'm just gonna take you out.
I'm the Viper, okay? You don't trust me. So good match. AJ Styles, LA Knight, good match. Our girl Bayley finally getting her just desserts. Always happy when she wins. I hope she doesn't lose her edge just because she's a fan favorite now, because I loved her more when she was mouthing off and totally being a jerk. So I hope she stays that way. Seth Rollins McIntyre, good match. Great cash in. I noticed we all put that down except for the Reverend.
Yep.
It was the right time. It was the right move, right? I don't have a problem with it at all. And, it keeps, and like Freddie said, the future storytelling with CM Punk still involved with McIntyre cost McIntyre a match this week.
Yep.
So you're really seeing, like, they didn't, like in the past, it used to be WrestleMania and then there was a reboot, right? And we had to wait a couple weeks to get new. We're moving right ahead. WrestleMania is a big pit stop, but it's just a stop along the road, which is contrary to what we've seen for a long time. So very impressive in that respect. And then lastly, the Reigns Rhodes match. I mean, we knew Cody was going to win. I thought it was a little overbooked, but I enjoyed, like you said, when Rollins came out with the Shield gear, and when Reigns looked at him and looked at Cody and who he was going to hit with the chair, you were like, I wonder who he's going to hit with the chair. And he actually went after the wrong guy, and it might have cost him the match, but it was like a payback, right? Many years later, but still a payback. And like you said, the end, the celebration. I could admit I was smiling and enjoying it, and was happy for Cody. It was a long road, and they capped it off right. And now I'm curious to see. I hope his title reign is equal to the Chase, and I have faith that Triple H will figure that out. And I can honestly say that for the first time in a long time, I feel like WWE is firing on all cylinders. They've got little tiny missteps here and there, but they're so small, the bigger ones just blow them away. So, like I said, I wouldn't watch both shows all the way through, but there are certainly several matches I would go back and check out again. No doubt in my mind. So, nice job. Really good shows.
All right. You guys touched on a lot of stuff that I probably would have said too, so I try to keep this short. I'm going to start off with Stand and Delivers. I know we didn't get into that at all. I never thought I'd hear the day where I'd say the Wolf Dogs had the match of that show. I think Axiom and Nathan Frazier still need to sell a little bit, but you know what? It was a nice surprise because Baron and Braun have been a very interesting, entertaining tag team. Short-lived because they dropped the belts on NXT this week. So, Oba Femi, they're definitely behind this guy, because I felt like there was, in the beginning of the match, he wasn't quite in sync with them. He picked it up, but they're really behind this guy, despite his greenness. Yeah, the last 3 matches were good, but wouldn't necessarily go back to watch anything. I mean, the Tony D'Angelo build, the way they're evolving that character, I think has been well done. But I don't. I thought it was too soon for him to be getting a title shot and anyone to think he was actually going to win. Roxanne Perez, this heel turn, it's apparently they're enjoying it backstage. I just feel like there's something missing with her. It's not clicking as a heel completely. She's trying to be a bitch, but it's not coming across very well. And then Trick Williams and Hayes, I mean, really good match. Feud's not over. Taking it to the next level next week on NXT. We're getting a steel cage match. So they're going to blow that thing off. And then Trick, the week after that, NXT's doing 2 weeks of called Spring Breaking, their annual event tied into the show. And they set up Trick versus Ilya Dragunov, and Dragunov said, "You lose, you're out of NXT." My only problem with that stipulation is I feel like, well, okay. Does anyone think he's really going to lose that match then? Why couldn't you say that for one of your premium live events?
Right.
But even bigger, C or B, if he loses, he's going over for a SmackDown. Yeah. I mean, he's the one guy. He's barely been on Raw or SmackDown, and the fans are chanting "Whoop that Trick" on Raw and SmackDown randomly. So
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So while I think he could benefit from an NXT title run, and I don't think he's quite ready for that for the main roster level, the fans are clearly ready for it. So they might pull the trigger on that. Night one, yeah, the 6-women tag match. I think we knew what was going on there. I knew going in, and this is part of the reason why I said I would rather have seen Jay face Gunther. I knew that match wasn't going to be that great. I couldn't understand why they were going with that match, especially when Jimmy's looked like a jobber for months. But whatever, it was fine. Ladder match was pretty good. Rhea versus Becky was fine. And 45 minutes in that tag match on night one. Wow. So hats off to them for that. Night two, the street fight was just fun. You know, they did a good job there. Can't disagree with anything you guys said about the triple threat or the Styles Night match. Bailey getting her due. Awesome. The Rollins-McIntyre match. I know a lot of people thought this was a great match. To me, I was getting annoyed at the effect it was having on finishers. I mean, how many times did Seth kick out of that Claymore kick? That really bothered the shit out of me. I'm like, can we please, let's make finisher strong again and meaningful? Because this whole, and it's not just a WWE thing, it's an AEW thing. Finishers don't mean shit anymore. So if that's the case, don't have a finisher. You know what I mean? If you're trying to make it that it's a legitimate fight, a legitimate wrestling match, whatever you want to call it, and the finishers are gonna be kicked out of left and right, just don't bother. You've cheapened it. The one thing I noticed with the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns main event. Well, yes, we knew going in it was going to probably be booked with a lot of run-ins. What I didn't notice is not one run-in involved anyone physically touching Roman Reigns, which actually helps Cody because it doesn't quite look like a cheap win in some respects. Because you could argue Roman didn't get touched by anybody that ran in, and if anything, Roman got distracted with Seth, and that was to finish off that whole storyline going back to when Seth turned on Roman. So I get that part. But Seth never got a hand on Roman. Roman attacked him first. Great for Cody. And the whole celebration, you would never have seen that during the McMahon era.
No way. Yeah.
And when he called out Triple H and Bruce Pritchard, I mean, wow, you know? Bruce got booed a little bit. I really feel for the guy because I think Ronda Rousey has dragged his name so much through the mud lately. And I think a lot of people are buying into it. And look, here's what I'm going to say. And I don't know about you guys. I know I'm guilty of it. Your boss is your boss, right? So if Bruce is answering to Vince, you know, he might be able to push back a little bit. But at some point, your boss says, okay, got it. Point taken. We're doing it my way. End of story. What Ronda is saying is clearly somebody that's never had a boss. You know what I mean? You can't always say no to your boss. And if you feel that strongly about the way your boss does things, you need to figure it out and get the hell out. You know what I mean? So at this point, I feel like she needs to back off a little bit. It's now at a point where it's so consistent. I'm like, what did this guy do to you that you have it in for him on this level? You know? I mean, she's talking like Vince still has some say here. I don't see
He doesn't. Yeah.
What did you guys think? Actually, first, before we get into my next question, welcome back from Japan, from the land of the rising sun. Jay just landed, so excuse his jet-lagged face.
Yeah, that's just what my face has become, permanent jet lagged. Thanks, guys. It's good to be back.
It's quite the improvement there.
Thank you. Yeah, I hear it adds character.
I'm sorry.
That's Rob's line.
Who was that Asian man that's sitting there? Where's Jason?
This is going on YouTube. You do realize that.
And Jason knows I'm kidding. So.
That just means he doesn't see race. He doesn't see race clearly. That's all.
Good line. Very good. I like that one.
Well played.
Hey, wait a minute. Oh, hey, Jason.
Hey, welcome back.
Better. Yeah.
Jeez, that's like the time Rob first got his glasses and he puts them on and looks at his wife and then goes, "Ugh!"
Whoa.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, the lady in the glasses store didn't find that funny. I did.
And Rob's still married, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say she still lets you get in the car with her, so that's pretty good.
He had the keys.
Didn't run me over.
So.
Okay.
He had his glasses on, so she knew he could see.
So go ahead.
He could actually drive home safely.
What were you going to say to Jason now that we've been sidetracked yet again?
Yes, that was my plan all along. But so what I miss over the past
Nothing.
couple of days or whatever. How long have I been gone?
Nothing. Not a lot's gone on.
Nothing much.
Have you watched anything while you were gone from us?
I've seen clips. I've heard references to a story of some sort. I've heard. That's about it, though. Nothing else. I think they said it's about done, or something like that. Almost finished. Is that it?
Okay. So this jack off with the Bills hat is abandoning us.
This is the last show for El Oso.
This is it.
What?
Yeah.
It's madness.
I will be going full time.
I wanted to
OTBS and all coaching and all that good stuff. But I'll still pop on every now and again, but the reins will be passed over to the encyclopedia.
Lose our phone number.
Well, don't, in case we got some questions. I don't want to hear. I don't want to get any message back saying, "Oh, who dis?
New phone, who dis?
New phone, who dis?"
Jason, I wanted to organize a beatdown, but Anthony wouldn't do it.
Oh man, if I wasn't so tired from all that flying,
you get beaten out of the group, right?
That's how it is, right? You join the gang, you leave the gang.
Jason and Rob, I'm starting the new podcast chat group right now. Then when we do our annual Yankee meetup, when Freddie tells us he can't make it, it won't matter because he's not on the show anymore.
So I'm not there, right?
So you mean I'm never going to find out whether or not you're an actual human being or an avatar that's just
we're just going to
well-created avatar.
We're just going to delete the code. That's all.
I just pop up every now and again. Damn it! I thought we deleted this shit.
Damn.
There's a ghost in the machine.
All right, I'm gonna say something kind of classy about that.
Why?
I'm gonna try here. I'm gonna try.
Why?
I'm gonna try.
Don't ruin the show.
That's my role right now. I mean, maybe the role will shift as he moves on here, but listen, good luck with that. I know you're doing good stuff with the OTBS, and I know you really enjoy the coaching. So best of luck with all that. But
I appreciate that.
Don't actually lose the number.
No, I won't. I'll still pop in on the group chat and hope you guys don't kick me out right away. Maybe leave me around for a little bit.
Well, we still need him to post the episode anyway.
Right.
That's true.
We'll have him come on. We'll just put him on mute.
How is that different?
But what'd you think of?
He's only started getting.
Did you get to see Manny at all?
All right, hold on. You guys are talking over each other.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm listening to you guys talk about WrestleMania, and I've only seen a bit here and there because it was morning every time when it was live, so I've been trying to catch up since I returned, but that'll take a while. I missed a lot of wrestling, it seems like.
You did.
Yeah. I missed a lot of wrestling in the effort to go see wrestling somewhere else, which is kind of ironic, but we'll talk about that later. I'm much more interested to hear your opinions. From the results I read, I mean, I'm pretty pleased, but yeah, I think you guys have all the insight on the show.
Yeah, I was the last one, so we're already done with that.
You're gonna have to listen to the replay.
Why? I missed that too. Damn. I missed WrestleMania and the WrestleMania recap. Is that what you're telling me?
Hey, but go check it out on YouTube. The Sports Frenzy Podcast on YouTube.
There you go.
There it is. All right. I mean, I'm happy with the results. That's all I can say definitively. I'm very happy with how pretty much both nights were booked.
Do you plan on watching both shows from beginning to end, or are you looking for recommendations?
Well, from what I understand, maybe the weakest match of the whole weekend was the Jimmy J match, which isn't a big surprise to me because I also remember Matt and Jeff Hardy's first match versus each other in a high-profile event, and it took them a while to get that chemistry, But even then, if that was the worst match and it wasn't god-awful, then I think I can watch the whole show straight through. But I'm really looking forward to watching the tag ladder match. And I mean, that main event from the clips I saw was insane. The final main event. And apparently Bailey showed out too, along with Io Sky. So there seems to be a lot to watch and a lot to enjoy.
And then we had Raw the next night, new setup. What you guys think of the new setup of Raw, which seems like it's going to be the new thing going forward?
That was the setup for SmackDown too.
Yeah, but they're saying now it's going to be the new deal going forward. They're not going to have the giant Tron. It's going to be an entrance like that.
So I've had strong opinions about this for years, so this might be a small rant. I'm fucking thrilled because I think the big screen, I don't think it was necessary. I don't think it was overdone. I thought it was overdone. What should be driving the show is the content, not some big fireworks display, not some big ass screen. And the other thing I always thought is, how many seats are you giving up by doing that? So now you have more seats to sell, and they're clearly hot right now with ticket sales. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some exaggeration going there, but what do they add? 15 straight TV sellouts?
Yeah, something like that.
Right now, I think it's great. I always hated that huge ass entrance. Save it for a special occasion if you really have to have it at WrestleMania, fine. And even this WrestleMania entrance, it was big, but it was big enough that it was still small enough that they were able to put some people in seats above it and just behind it. I don't know what the viewing angle could be for that. I know they did it at WrestleMania 35 as well. And I also noticed, did anyone else pick up the WrestleMania wording? I think it was reused from WrestleMania 31. Did anyone else pick up on that? If you go back and look at the WrestleMania 31 set, it looks like the lettering for WrestleMania looks eerily similar. So I was like, yeah, they reused that. But anyway, I think it's great. Get more people in there. Get more of us in there to enjoy the show. Ideally, lower the ticket prices, but because I was this close to going to night 2. I had somebody that reached out to me and said, oh, I really want to go to WrestleMania. And he wanted night 1. And I said, I can't. I got too many people coming over. I'll do night 2. And he went and he was all set. I took off from work the next day, ready to go, because I was like, I'm going to stay over. I'm not driving back, blah, blah, blah. And then he looked at the ticket prices and goes, I didn't realize how much it was going to cost to be able to sit close enough to see everything in the ring and not on the screen. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was so close, this close. I was almost going to go by myself, but I don't feel like I'd enjoy it sitting there by myself and not knowing the people around me. I'd rather go with friends. So, thanks to, so you 3 jackoffs didn't want to go with me either. So screw you all you.
I was busy.
I was out of the country.
I don't care.
I don't care that much.
Right.
I don't enjoy your company.
Wow.
That's fine. Saves me money.
So what did you guys think when they had Cody have to watch stuff on the screens, like TV screens by the ringside. Like, I think that'll be the one thing they need to figure out as they do those smaller entrances or the different entrances.
I don't know why Triple H just didn't hand them an iPhone and say, "Here, watch it.
Here, check it out here." Right.
You know what they could do?
Here's a viewfinder.
I mean, it is the TKO group. And Freddie, I know you've been to UFC shows. They usually put screens up in the corners on their own, like hanging them up. Maybe that's the way they got to go.
Yeah,
keep it out of view for the fans watching on TV, but they're in the arena for those that might not be able to see as well. That might be the way to go there.
Yeah, I think that'll be a smart way.
Jason, if I could make another recommendation, if you haven't heard Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame speech, you should watch it.
Yes. I've seen a couple of clips of that. Apparently, he really, and I was reading his comments leading up to that speech, and apparently he really just
one of the greatest speeches of all time, I think.
Really?
I'd say greatest speech of all time for Hall of Fame.
I don't know. Bobby the Brains was pretty great.
That was a great
speech.
If you could find it.
There's a lot of guys you can put it up against, but it was one of the greatest for sure.
Isn't it funny though? Usually, if you're most of the time you're talking about Paul Heyman and Bobby the Brain Heenan in the same breath because it's them, and then everybody else.
And everybody else.
Yeah.
See, the Heenan one was before they started broadcasting it as an actual separate event.
There are clips around.
Right.
I don't know if you can find the whole thing, but it was great. I remember it. It was great. It was great. He broke character in certain places when it was appropriate.
He did with Monsoon specifically.
Right.
That one I remember.
It was totally worth it. I mean, if you can find it somehow, it was up there. But for what we're talking about now, Heyman. I mean, I watched the whole thing, and Heyman was easily the highlight. You have to watch it. I would almost insist upon it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Down.
And then
maybe I'll just start with that.
The Raw after Mania. I thought it was all right. I don't think it was by any means the best Raw after Mania. I thought the crowd was hot as usual for that crowd. Good show. Just nothing that was like, oh my God, I feel like they're saving that for probably SmackDown. You're probably going to get more either returns or, debuts, whatever the case may be, come SmackDown as opposed to Raw.
Well, I mean, The Rock was on Raw.
The Rock was on Raw.
John Cena was on Raw.
Yeah, but Dragunov was one of the debuts.
And Roxanne Perez was there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you were looking for. I mean, after Cody being so high, they could only go down.
Yeah, I was looking for a debut, like someone we haven't seen before.
Who would you have picked?
Come on.
Breaker?
Trick.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh,
I don't know.
Really?
You might not know his name, but you know what island his folks are from.
Damn right.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to start trashing him every week.
Hey, you're going to see he's pretty freaking good, man.
Uh-huh. And you know what? I can trash him all I want. You won't be here to stop me.
I won't be here to defend him. That's going to be the thing.
I'm going to come up with an insult a week for that guy.
Well,
you're just going to see it in the comments.
Here's the thing, Freddie. If he debuts, the Bloodline's on SmackDown, he would have. So
he
if
would
we really,
debuted on Raw anyways, yeah.
Yeah, it's either NXT or SmackDown, I think.
In fact, yeah, Ilya and Roxanne both wrestling on Raw semi-surprised me, and then it occurred to me, we're not getting any big debuts tonight, and that's fine. If the show's good, I mean, look, what's most people talking about? That first 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was the Cody show.
Yeah, and most of the speculation is what did The Rock hand Cody, which we don't know. It could be up to a year because now I'm reading dirt sheet reports all over the place that that's your WrestleMania 41 main event, and I'm like, are they really gonna wait that long? Do it at SummerSlam. Rock Roman next year.
He's going straight to movies apparently.
Right, But for how long? How long is it going to take to film this movie? SummerSlam's in August. Do you really want to see Rock versus Cody next year? And Rock potentially, I guess he would have to win the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, or one of those matches becomes meaningless. We're going to really wait that long? I think Rock, Cody, I'm going to be honest. It's a great main event. I think it's a SummerSlam main event. I think WrestleMania next year, you have to set something up between Rock and Roman next year. I don't think.
What about Rumble? Doing that at Rumble.
What? Rock Roman?
Rock Cody.
Even that's fine too. I'm just saying Rock Cody at WrestleMania. I think that's too long. I don't want another year build up to another Rock match. And Rock Roman, I'm sorry, I think that's a bigger match and more must-see match than Rock Cody right now, even with the setup on Monday. And if anything, you got to set up now because you could run Rock Cody. You could have Roman cost Rock that match, and Roman could say, I heard what you said the very next night on Raw. I'm still your tribal chief. You need to acknowledge me and screw you and all this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. In some respects, you could look at The Rock's promo on Raw as being disrespectful to Roman. You know, it was almost like when Triple H, the night after WrestleMania, what was that, 14, said that Triple H took his ball and went home or whatever it was, and he's now in charge, sort of thing. In some ways, you could semi-relate Rock's promo to that one. You know? Anyway, go ahead, rant over.
So, Raul, what did you think of the set? Do you think it's going to work? It's not going to work?
I honestly didn't pay all that much attention to it. That stuff to me, like, it doesn't really interest me all that much. I'm more interested in what's happening in the ring. But from what everybody's saying, it sounds like it needs some tweaking. And I thought it was weird when they went to show Cody that video montage. It was on like a television. I was like, where's the Titantron? Where's the... Like, come on, there's better technology out there, guys. I mean, do we need 16 millimeter film? Does somebody have to hold up a screen? Like, I'm like, we can do better than this.
Who ran to Target and picked up some TVs?
Right? I mean, come on. Even Triple H seemed like he was embarrassed. We have to show you it on this.
Yeah.
And Cody's like, what is this, Betamax? Is this VHS? What is this?
Are you rolling out the tube TVs?
like the substitute teacher in elementary school.
Anybody got an extension cord?
I need a new power strip. This one's not long enough.
The TV on the big cart the teacher used to bring in.
Well, let me ask you this though. What I'm hearing, because you guys are talking about the set and this thing with the monitor or whatever, but from what I heard, the way they shot the episode, and they've been doing this a lot over the past few months, the way they were shooting backstage versus in-ring action, or even leading to in-ring action, was a little more interesting than normal.
Yes.
And that's what I'm hearing. So at least not for Cody watching on his little screen, but for the rest of everybody at home, it was a little bit more of a immersive, cinematic experience. And it seems like their production is taking another step forward in terms of that. So how did you guys feel about how the show looked from that perspective?
There was one transition between the Rhea incident backstage to where Dom pushes the camera and the cameraman just walks it down the hallway right into the arena. It was flawless, and it was something we hadn't seen before from WWE. And I was just like, oh, shit, that was very well done. Like, it was right in that hallway. So Dom's like, get out of here, pushes the camera, and the cameraman just walks it right into the arena, right to ringside. It was very cool.
Interesting. I heard, I guess the post-WrestleMania press conference, Triple H talked about the set and what you were saying, Encyclopedia, about getting more people in and then focusing on the actual talent instead of the kind of the glitz of the entrance. I've also heard tell that maybe this has to do with the acquisition and kind of the company over them saying, hey, we're going to cut costs in certain things, so you're not going to do this elaborate set every week. But he also shouted out their producer, I thought, which I thought was really interesting. And, you know, I love living in a post Kevin Dunn world. So apparently this producer has really come in with a good eye and some just different ideas. So they're trying everything, it seems like. Yeah, just
it's working out pretty well so far, I think. Yeah. And I'm sure it's also less of a load that they have to carry every week from city to city. You know, it probably cuts down maybe 10 trucks to 5. Maybe I don't know how the production would go, but I'm sure it cuts down on it.
I think they put that TV in the back of Triple H's car.
Right.
So.
Yeah. For sure. Is it real glass in that TV, or is it
What's the back of this? What's the back on this TV? That's the way TVs used to be. Oh,
that's how it is. But you know, we had that. We also had quite the incident this week, AEW style. You know, I'm just gonna refer to him now as Vince Russo 2.0, because that's what he is to me. He seems like a petty dude who thinks his way and only his way is the right way. Tony Khan. He came out after last week when Punk was on the Area Hawani MMA Hour and kind of broke down the incident between him and Jungle Boy. And he got pissed about it, then went on and said, this week we're releasing the actual footage. And it's happening. And we're letting everybody know what really happened. It's actually verbatim what Punk said. I love the side-by-side of what Punk was saying and how it went down. It's exactly what happened. I just think it made AEW look foolish. It made them look like a B-class company that doesn't have their shit together. And you just look petty and stupid with egg on your face. That's the way it seemed to me.
I didn't see WrestleMania, but I saw that.
I saw the shit out of that. Yeah,
I did get YouTube while I was out there, and I watched the fuck out of that video, that interview, and it was great. And I watched the video a little earlier today, between jet-lagged naps, and I had to watch it again because I thought, oh, maybe my observation skills are off and I'm missing something. And no, yeah, you're right. It's everything he said it was. And you can see when he turns to Tony Khan and tells him he quits. I mean, even if you can't hear it, you know what it looks like when somebody's quitting their job. And that's what it looks like. Feared for his life. There's two big dudes holding CM Punk, and Tony Khan feared for his life. But okay, sure. I think he said something really interesting during that interview where he said, and we've talked about this because we've always talked about the success of AEW in terms of competition and making money and as a television series and, you know, getting viewers and things like that. And he said it's not like he doesn't want to do any of that. He just wants to have wrestling matches. And as long as he is interested and continues to pour in money, AEW will continue to be on TV and be fine as a company. If he loses interest, then that's it. And he just said it's a different thing that they're trying to do there. And that makes sense, despite all the folks who decided to come out and get on microphones the night after and counter that claim. It really does feel like, I believe, Freddie, you've used the term fanboy a bunch of times as an owner. I think that's what it is. He's playing with a giant toy chest and having fun, and it just so happens other people can watch the matches too. That's fine.
Is he Sid?
We're not,
Is he Sid from Toy Story?
Yes, because when he's not looking, all the wrestlers sneak out to see their friends in other companies. So.
They all go back home. Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. I think in our text chat, I'd expressed a hope. Oh, maybe it's gonna be some like Young Bucks storyline thing, and they're gonna do a spoof of this, and it'll be like a funny thing. Kind of wish they had, or done nothing at all, because that wasn't it.
Yeah.
That's like, if it may be topical. It's like if a certain former running back that you might be familiar with for your team there had showed up in court and said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you guys what really happened, so you understand how I'm innocent," and then just showed some camcorder footage of him running up on them in the driveway.
That was
not helpful.
Yeah.
I can just imagine Khan's lawyers all going like this.
Yeah.
Hell of an interview, though.
I heard somebody compare Tony Khan to Dixie Carter and AEW to Impact Wrestling, TNA Impact Wrestling, and I thought it was apt because she didn't want to be an authority figure. She wanted to be a friend. She wanted to pal around with Hogan and Bischoff, and if you remember, they had Sting, Styles, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, and they still couldn't get any ratings. And AEW is in the same boat. You've got this Tony Khan, who is not running this business. He's just hanging out with his friends, playing fantasy wrestling, because he's got Okada, Ospreay, Dan, like he's got an all-star team, and he's letting them play pickleball rather than a professional sport. You know what I mean? Like they're not playing in the big leagues. They're playing minor league ball when they should be playing major league ball. I don't understand. He gets so easily baited. They must sit back and laugh at him. Like Punk must be like, watch this. I'm going to say this, and I guarantee you he's going to react to it somehow. I don't know how, but he's going to overreact to it. And like Jason said, it would have been funny if they would have said, we're going to play the footage, and it would have been some kind of parody. I would have laughed my ass off because that would have been unexpected. Right. And instead, he did exactly what you would think he would do. What the gain was, what the bottom line was, what he was looking to get out of that, I have no idea. What was the point? CM Punk is at like a level up here right now. Were you trying to cut him down? It wasn't going to work. It's the wrong guy to go after. Right? It's not going to happen. Like, you don't want to be anywhere near WrestleMania. If you're going to say anything, you should be like, you should put out a tweet that says, congratulations, great show, Cody, we love you, and move right along to the next thing. That's your acknowledgement. You should acknowledge Cody. He was there in the beginning. Send heartfelt congratulations. Send him a card. Send him candy. Send him flowers. Whatever. Call it done.
It's what WWE did with Sting.
Right. Move on.
They came out. Congratulations. Great
career.
Stay
classy, AEW. Stay classy. Right? And then they have to double down with Ospreay taking a shot at Triple H. Why? Why was it necessary?
I want to know what the encyclopedia thinks about the video footage thing, but I also want to come back to that.
I'm in the middle of my rant. Hang on. I'm still ranting. You're interrupting.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to Japan.
Sorry, I can't wait to hear about that other thing.
I don't know how to say quiet in Japan, so Japanese. So.
Well, I'm not telling you.
I'm almost done. So I just don't understand. I don't understand what they were looking to accomplish, and I guarantee this has hurt them for months to come. I don't know how they're going to recover from this because they look like fools. And staunch AEW supporters are still online. People who have week after week after week have defended them are starting to go like, I don't know about this shit. Like, this was dumb. And your core audience is not very big as it is. The last thing you want to do is piss them off. Like, I'm still going to watch because I love Samoa Joe, and there's still guys on there, and I love Swerve. But I'm looking at it with a different lens because I'm wondering, like you said, how much longer this can go on. If Tony Khan starts to get bored or the ratings really drop through the floor, does AEW fold? And that's really bad for wrestling. I mean, it's bad for everybody. It's bad for the wrestlers, but it's bad for wrestling because it's nice to have competition. I think AEW is part of the reason why WWE is kicking ass right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the end game was, but it's not going to be good. And the sooner Tony Khan realizes he's not the man to run the show, the better off they're going to be. But I don't think he's ever going to come to that conclusion. Not while the Young Bucks have his ear, while Kenny Omega has his ear, and they're all telling him how wonderful he is, and Jericho and all those people. He's never going to get that reality check that he needs. So I don't know what the future of AEW looks like. I don't know if it just chugs along as the distant second place. I can't see what that is, so I don't know what you're showing me.
This was allegedly CM Punk's Instagram post after the footage was released, and it is a very famous George W. Bush on a ship with the banner that says "Mission Accomplished."
Yeah. Okay. Doing the thumbs up.
Yes.
All right.
The thumbs up.
End rant. Please continue. Whoever's next.
Encyclopedia, what are your thoughts on Tony Khan's exceptional video footage?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
Yeah, they say we have to give you a turn.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was. Yeah. You sure you're done, Rob?
No, I might interrupt, so go ahead. You might start talking.
Okay. Well, then why should I bother? I really think deep down, Tony Khan really thought showing this footage was going to show his side of it and how he felt. That he was threatened. He felt his life was on the line. And I'm trying to be empathetic here. I really believe he really thought this was going to paint him in a good light to say, hey, look, here's what happened. Look at how much danger I was in. The situation was out of control and what have you. I think that's just his perception of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, unfortunately, he's running a company I'm seeing a mix. I still see some AEW hardcores defending him, but everything Punk said word for word is pretty much how most people viewed that video. I did find interesting because there was no audio. I wonder if that was by design, possibly, but it looked like Punk shoved Jack Perry first. So I would like to hear Jack Perry's side of it as far as what he said that triggered that. They try to tie it into this FTR Young Bucks feud. I don't quite, other than taking a jab at FTR, I don't see what the end game was. I really think he believed this was going to help the Young Bucks FTR match take it to another level, and if he really believes that, so be it. The Will Ospreay comments, I again don't get it. I think he took what Triple H said the wrong way. I think Triple H was more referring to like young, brand new wrestlers. Yeah. Like, you want to learn the craft, or do you want to go here with the easier schedule? That's what I think he was getting at. If you're a veteran, and Ospreay's a veteran, Okada, veteran.
He's not a rookie. They're not rookies.
I don't think that quote was directed at them. If you want to take it that way, that's fine. That whole situation last week where Adam Copeland came out and was defending AEW right after the interview, I think that made him look kind of foolish. And it's like, bro, you're cutting this promo in front of how many people? Like a couple thousand? The fact that, and a lot of the bigger names, like them going off, like Ospreay and then Copeland with his, I'm saying to myself, who are you guys kidding? You're there for the paycheck. it's one of those things. If you listen to Bischoff's podcast, if you listen to Jim Ross's podcast, the two biggest things they always said that the wrestlers are always worried about: cash, creative. That's it. If you're working for AEW and you're not voicing your opinion too much, you're there for the cash. Let's be honest here. Khan's got the money to pay it. It's not like we've seen it. It's not like they're bringing the crowds in to pay these guys.
Right.
The show's ratings started going down with that Punk segment all the way through the end of the show. So,
are the final ratings in for that show yet?
Yeah. No? Yeah, they're in.
Did they break 800 or are they way below that?
Up until around the time of that era, up until that segment, they were above 800, and then right after that segment, it would just went.
Chicken dives. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the exact. Let's see more. Okay, here I'll read you through it. So 8 o'clock, which was the Samoa Joe attack, Adam Copeland, Penta. They had 987,000 viewers with a 33 demo rating, 0.33. Went down to 0.31, 857,000 viewers at the end, with the end of Adam Copeland Penta. So they had already dropped about, my God, 130,000 viewers. Backstage promo and all in footage show starts being aired. The demo went up to 0.34, and the viewers went up to 880,000. So not the highest set 15-minute segment on there. Then from there, FTR promo, Danielson promo, Ospreay interview. Dropped down to 32 demo, 822,000 viewers. And then every segment after that, it was worse and worse. 0.29 demo, 767. 0.28 demo, 765. 0.28 again, 759. And the last segment, Samoa Joe versus Dustin Rhodes, which, yeah, all right, we know. Dustin Rhodes, his brother finished the story. He has a story to finish. All right, fine. He wanted to do that. That's fine. I thought it was smart. No. 0.27 rating, 723,000 viewers, the lowest rated segment in the entire show. So some people might look at this and be like, hey, once that all-in footage aired, nobody gave a shit. By the end of the show, they dropped another 160,000 viewers almost. Now Rob's comments concerning the future of AEW. I don't think AEW is going anywhere, and I don't think it's necessarily because they're rolling in the dough and they're going to be profitable and everything. I think it's the con money. The con money's carrying this company, and I don't think they are willing to accept failure, and that's commendable in some respects. But look, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Jacksonville Jaguars haven't been to a Super Bowl, right? Have they? I don't think so. Championship game, I think.
They went to a championship game, yeah.
Yeah. And they usually have one good year and then they fall apart. They're the laughing stock of the NFL half the time.
They'll be all right this year.
Yeah. They can't fill the stadium most of the time. They've blacked out. They've had to black out Jacksonville at times, and I know this for a fact because I know people that live in Jacksonville and say, "Hey, I can't watch a Jaguars game. I got to go to the freaking game to watch it."
Yeah, I've heard that too.
One of the only markets where it gets blacked out because they're not selling tickets. Fulham FC. All right, they got up to the Premier League. They're hit or miss all the time. They're in an older stadium. I like the charm of the older stadiums. That's not just a soccer opinion. That's a baseball thing. I hate when the old stadiums get teared down and get replaced with some new shiny thing. To me, I think the old stadiums have charged fine. So be it. So I think the real question right now, does AEW get a TV deal? I'm thinking yes, because I think for the little that, it's not a little amount by any means, but compared to what WWE gets in rights fees, I think AEW is on the cheap, and I think it's probably cheaper to pay AEW and get these kind of viewers than it is to get a first-run show to take that spot, or maybe even something in syndication. I mean, what was the rumor? They got 50, 60 mil a year for Dynamite originally? That's cheap. That's comparable to what NXT was getting. And NXT rarely hits the number of viewers AEW gets. Granted, NXT's developmental territory. And where's NXT going? NXT's going on the CW. Yeah. It's conceivable that CW is going to pull in more viewers with NXT than AEW is getting for TNT, TBS, and the other thing is, how much content is AEW putting out? And most of it's not being watched. Guys, anyone here watch Rampage? No?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Collision?
I watched Collision on DVR.
I'm not expecting anyone's watching it live. I'm saying in general. I record it every week. I look at see what matches there were on, and most of the time I'm like, yeah, this is like an extended Rampage for most of it. Delete.
Yeah.
What about Ring of Honor?
Ring of Honor, don't you have to have Honor Club to watch that?
I'm trying to figure out what they. What was it? Was that just Supercard of Honor, the one that was just on?
Last week, yeah.
3,800 pay-per-view buys.
3,800?
3,800.
Really?
It was up from last year's, which only had 3,300.
But wasn't there last?
Not 1,000.
3,800.
3,800.
3,800.
What was their last one? Because I felt like it was more. I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't really hear much about this Ring of Honor card till it was already over.
The only thing I heard is that what's his name, Briscoe beat Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, yeah, because now that's supposed to tie into the big 6-man tag at Dynasty. It's Dynasty, right? It's called Dynasty.
Yeah, Dynasty.
Who gives a fuck? House of Black against Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe. Who thought that was a match people want to see? Oh, yeah. That's going to put butts in the seats. Really?
All right, so here, I found the actual article. It says they drew 4,500 fans, 4,200 paid. An early estimate for pay-per-view numbers is between 20,000 to 22,000, with the TV pay-per-view number at 3,300. AE sources believe it will end up higher. So, I don't even... Is Ring of Honor even worth producing anymore?
It's a glorified indie show is what it is at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking. Final Battle 2022 reportedly had 25,400 customers. So, I mean, if you just do a search of Ring of Honor buy rates, it seems like the previous ones all did well. This is really...
Well, they didn't do any promotion for it.
No. Yeah. They didn't.
I couldn't name any other match on that card except for I know Kyle Fletcher was on it. I have no idea who he was wrestling.
I know.
I had no idea it was
defended
happening.
her title. That's it.
Yeah, I can tell you right now. We had the Premier Athletes against Rhett Titus, Tony Deppen, and Adam Priest. I'm sorry, those are the preview shows. Let me go to the main show. Oh, Mariah May was on the pre-show. She's the only reason I might have watched. Kyle Fletcher versus Lee Johnson. Isn't this the same Lee Johnson that jobs left and right on AEW? Yeah, all right. Who fucking cares? Mia Saria and Empress Nexus Venus against Tam Nakano and Queen's Quest. Who?
Were those words?
Yeah. Are those people? They're not.
Wow, that's harsh. I didn't even go there.
You eating peanut butter?
The Undisputed Kingdom defeated the Infantry. Infantry Captain Sean Dean, I think that was a jobber for a while. Billy Starks and Queen Aminata. Oh, I know these guys. Bullet Club Gold and Jay White defend the 6-man tag team championship against Monster Sauce. Lance Archer and Alex Zane, apparently. I don't even know who the hell Alex Zane is. And Minoru Suzuki. Dalton Castle, I'm assuming without the boys because they got let go, defeated Johnny TV in Fight Without Honor. Oh, sorry, I'm actually giving results. Oh, wait, nobody's going to watch this. Oh, this was the only match I had heard of. I didn't even hear about the Briscoe-Kingston match beforehand. The only one I'd heard of, and it was a graphic that popped up on my feed, maybe because I'm obsessed with the challenger, Athena and Hikaru Shida. That was the only match I had heard about before the show.
Womp. That's what I said exactly.
The only one I know before the show, funny enough, was the Kingston Briscoe match because I happened to see a clip of a promo of them setting up the 6-man, but saying, hey, by the way, we're going to fight at this pay-per-view beforehand, but afterwards will fight these guys together. That's it. That's the only reason I knew about that match. And then the only one I heard about, aside from the results of the title match, was the Athena and Hikaru Shida match. I don't know anyone else that was on it. I know some of the people, but it's like, do you want people to watch your shows?
What's the name of their... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. What is the name of their end of year show? Death Before Dishonor, or was that this past week?
None of us
Someone
know.
please watch.
Sorry?
Should someone please watch? Anyone, please?
Super Card of Honor.
Hello?
Is that the end of the...
Is anybody there?
Oh.
There.
Let's see, Death Before Dishonor. I'm just curious what the buy rate was for that one.
17.
Well, that would be 6 times as much as what they freaking got for this one.
Buy this so we can keep the lights on.
Death Before Dishonor. That was July. What's the name of the last show?
Ring of Honor GoFundMe.
Yeah. Ring of Honor OnlyFans.
They might get more money off of that.
Hey,
right?
If she went to get naked, I'd order the pay-per-view.
Are they taking requests?
And if Athena would put on a coat, I would maybe order the pay-per-view.
Okay, so it was Final Battle. So let me see. Ring of Honor.
What, you like Athena?
I'm saying she's got some stuff under that outfit, man.
I don't want that stuff, whatever it is.
Dude, I had to look the opposite way when she wrestled.
I don't want to know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
When we went to Dynamite in Newark, I couldn't watch that match because this guy over here was getting so excited, he almost poked his own eye out, staring at her.
Who?
You.
Japan. Who?
Wait, when we went to Dynamite, okay, you listed a match offer there, and I just realized you listed 2 people at that Ring of Honor show. It was Mariah May and Queen Aminata, that was like the match. That was the one good women's match. We were like, why don't they show this on TV more often? And then it turned out they weren't showing it on TV. Everything that was going on was in picture-in-picture. True. And meanwhile, people in the audience were all like, they can wrestle. Maybe they should show this more often.
I think I read that was the match of the night at that show.
It might have been.
It was really good.
It was definitely the surprise of the night. But yeah, it could have been the match of the night.
Okay, Ring of Honor Final Battle in December. 25,000 pay-per-view buys, 19,000 streaming, 6,400 cable. And what did you say, Rob? What was it? 3.8?
3,800.
That's bad.
What do you say to that?
Arrivederci? Is that?
If I'm Tony Khan's father, I'm chasing him around with a newspaper, smacking him on the head. Why are you putting on pay-per-views but only get 3,800 hits?
Yeah, but you know what? His dad might think it's worth the money to get him out of his hair. Here, son. Here's $100 million. Leave me alone.
Go do your coke in Jacksonville. Go ahead.
Here, go put on another pay-per-view. Go ahead.
I'm beginning to think that Tony's first name isn't Tony, and that the T stands for tax write-off. Because
it's possible. Does he still claim him on his taxes?
He's only 14.
He acts 12. I can claim him. It's fine.
But again, though, to go back to what Punk said, okay, so they're not trying to make money, but for wrestlers, their goal is being able to enhance their own personal brand and make money in wrestling. So if they're able to do that, cool. But his business model doesn't seem to be to make lots of money. Yeah. It just seems to be have a camera and some people in the ring, which if that's all he wants to do, admit that. Don't pretend to be something else that you're not.
Tony Khan had a backyard wrestling company when he was a kid, and now he's doing it in real life.
No one played with Tony Khan when he was a kid.
He said he had a company. He didn't say he had people there.
Yeah.
Now he's getting to play with all the athletes who picked on him at school.
Yeah. All right. Do we have anything else before we wrap this one up?
No, because the sooner we wrap this up, the sooner I don't have to see your face anymore.
Hey, there it is.
Wow.
There it is. But with that
if
being said,
if I would have known this was your last show, we would have set up a roast.
Yeah. There's still time.
Yeah, we can do it next week.
There's still time for that.
We do it next week. Yeah, I'll tune in.
Next week.
I'll tune in.
No. We don't need you there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll tune in.
Tune in, but get footage. Get footage of you watching it on a little monitor.
There we go.
You know what I want? I want you to film yourself doing this.
Hey, before we wrap up, and guys, I did want to say it's really good to be back with y'all, and I'm happy to see you guys, and congratulations to you, Freddie, and all that stuff. But that show I saw in Japan was insane.
All right, hang on a minute. Wait a minute.
Give us for next week.
Give us 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you next week.
All right.
I'll tell you more about it next week. But I just want to say it was an excellent show, and Mr. Devil's Advocate got some.
You got me a paper bag?
No, I got you a shirt.
Open it. Let me see it.
From the land of the rising sun.
Freddie, notice how they're prolonging this to keep you on.
Yeah.
I'm not. Freddie can hang up.
They're going to miss me.
This is the Grand Princess 24 shirt, and on the back, it's everybody who was in it.
Cool.
And it's a really nice one. I figured you'd want the one in English, so I got you the one in English. They had one in the Japanese, but...
You thought wrong?
Hey, well, it's okay because they were...
I appreciate it.
But yes, I was happy to go to it, and I learned a lot about how they run some of those shows out there, so I'm happy to talk about that next week.
Okay. It's a date.
So, with that being said, The Sports Frenzy Pod on Twitter, The Sports Frenzy Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and the last one for El Oso.
To you.
I want to thank you guys for listening, being a part of it, being along for the ride. The encyclopedia, thanks for joining. I appreciate you, and keep kicking ass, taking over the reins. I appreciate the Devil and the Reverend. You guys have been a much needed comic relief week after week. Look forward to seeing you guys succeed, do awesome things, and hey, that's it for me. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Thank you, sir.